UFC Shanghai, Johnnie Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. I am here to give you my full card picks and predictions on the entire 12 fight slate. Before we get started, let's just quickly recap UFC 319, which was last week. DDP versus Hamzat. Predictions went okay. Not my best work, 7-4. Obviously, not that many fights. We were scheduled 12. I'm not counting Ultimate Fighter, but we were scheduled 12. Ended up starting off not too bad. Hit a dog with Jakar Close and some other dogs like Lerone Murphy. The one fight that I was annoyed about, I will say, is not even the fact that I picked DDP. You know what? Something I realized is if everyone's saying the same thing around you, it's likely not going to happen, because everyone was like DDP late or Hamzat early. When everyone else has that opinion, that's when I usually know not to go there, because usually people are wrong, and that's why I do this, because a lot of other people are wrong. So kind of annoyed that I went that way. But the one I'm annoyed about the most is picking Kaya Sakura against Tim Elliott, because I picked Tim Elliott against Makayev, and that was a close fight until he got subbed. It was 1-1 going into the third. How did I, after picking him there as a massive underdog, go he's going to lose to Kaya Sakura, who has no ground game? Sometimes I have to remember things like that, because that was, to me, the worst L out of the 4 that I took. But anyways, looking for a bounce back spot here. Not going to be a long video. 12 fights. Some fights that, aren't really worth talking too much about, so I'll kind of quickly skim through those. And then we have some bangers as well. So let's just quickly get started on those. First fight of the night, Uran Satybaldiev versus Diyar Nurgozhay. My God, we're off to a hot start. Both are coming off of debut losses, I should say. Uran actually came in on his debut, I should say, versus Martin Buday, because he took it on short notice and went up in weight to fight Martin Buday. So he clearly had a weight disadvantage there, kind of getting clinched up a little bit. You can tell that he was getting a little controlled because of his size. But still, same size as Buday. He's 6'4". He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage here, 5-inch reach advantage, and 3-inch leg reach advantage. I mean, he was using his range beautifully against Buday. He was swinging. He seemed to still have power. I'm interested to see what he looks like at 205 against someone in Diyar who's kind of facing someone similar to his loss in Brendan Ribeiro, where Ribeiro used his range, was able to piece up Diyar early, and then even when Diyar tried to shift towards the wrestling, put himself in bad positions and then got caught with a Kimura, which is also, funny enough, the last win that Uran had before going into the UFC was a Kimura in LFA, which is really funny. Overall, I mean, listen, I think Diyar is really good. I think that he kind of has a lot. He does have a lot of power on the feet. I just think Uran's a skill for skill better. It's going to be close. They can definitely piece each other up. But I just think he's going to be able to use his range really well. And honestly, I mean, Uran looked good against Buday despite him losing. I mean, Buday's 7-1 in heavyweight and still got cut, but he was still very solid. I think Uran's going to be able to put a solid performance here. Right now, minus 142, not bad at all, to be honest. People are betting on Diyar, which I get, came in as a pretty sizable favorite. His first fight lost, looking as a nice bounce back spot as an underdog. I get it, but I'm still going to go with Uran. I think, it's a very similar opponent to what Diyar faced, and he didn't look good. Uran, arguably better hands than Ribeiro. Ribeiro just has more power, maybe, but his hands look good. So give me Uran Satybaldiev to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Zhao Long versus Su Young Yu. Both coming off of wins. Long is 2 inches taller, 5-inch reach advantage, 1-inch leg reach advantage. It's going to be very interesting, the grappling exchanges here. Both will be looking for takedowns, especially Yu. It reminds me of Rush Hour when I say that. Yu, 2-0 in the UFC, obviously 2 road to UFC wins as well. Just constantly looking for that takedown. He averages almost 5 takedowns a fight, 55% takedown accuracy. So he's averaging about 9 takedowns a fight, attempts, I should say. Took AJ Cunningham to decision, took him down 5 times, controlled him for 8 minutes of a 15-minute fight. Last fight before that, took about a round of control, I mean, that's his game plan. I mean, he's kind of like trying to Khabib you a lot. And then we have Zhao Long, obviously a lot more steady on the feet, I should say. Did get a knockdown against Quang Lei and then did pick up a TKO win in that fight. Just landed more. He looked really good. I think he was a dog in that fight as well. Obviously lost a split decision before that in his first fight, his debut fight in the UFC. It was very even, but he did end up having a lot more control, 6 minutes, and landed a lot more. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be on their back foot more, who's going to be trying to control the tempo, control the pace, who's going. I see a lot of both of them going back and forth in that department, but I do think Long has the better hands. So if he's able to stuff those takedowns, 77% takedown defense, obviously, 5 fights is decent. I think he has a great chance of winning this, honestly. Zhao Long right now is an underdog, plus 106. I take my odds at a dog shot here early. I think so. I think, it's going to be a 3-rounder, but I think it can be a good fight. So give me my first dog of the night. Geez, second fight is a dog. Long Zhao to win by decision. Next fight, Yiza versus Westin Wilson. Yiza is coming off of a loss. He's going to be the shorter fighter here. Westin Wilson, 4, 5, 6 inches taller than him, damn near. 2.5-inch reach advantage, 4.5-inch leg reach advantage. Now, obviously, that would be significantly better if Westin Wilson was a striker, but he's not. He's looking to take you to the ground. It's the only way he can win this fight or win practically any fight is to try to get a sub on you. 17-9, 12 of his wins come by sub. Won his last fight to Sergei, but it's because Sergei has absolutely no ground game. You know how that goes. Lost to Gene Silva before that got nuked. Yiza, 25-5, 0-2 in the UFC. Yeah, he had a UFC fight in 2023, then had road to UFC fights, won all of those, and then lost to Gabriel Santos in his last one. Now, he is a massive favorite here. He is minus 1,600. I would say probably the best way to take this fight is the under, but I do think Yiza does pull it out. I think Westin Wilson has no chin, and Yiza has some power to him. So give me Yiza to win by knockout or TKO. Next fights, Michel Pereira versus Kyle Daukas. Now, Kyle Daukas is coming back to the UFC after winning a few fights. Good on him. So it does say, his last fight was a loss, but has the momentum here, I would say. 2 inches taller, 3-inch reach advantage, 1-inch leg reach advantage. Going to be looking for those kicks, but Michel Pereira is going to be doing the same. Michel Pereira's last fight, I messed up. That's another one where I sometimes have to remind myself of these things. Michel Pereira faced a boost in his last fight, and it came kind of abruptly. It was like kind of out of the blue. About 3 weeks before that, or 2 weeks before that, he was caught in a scandal where he was like cheating on his wife or something, and that his side chick was at the Apex for that fluffy fight in October, and someone had posted it, and he had like taken this fight literally like right when he got caught or something. At that point, I should have went, he's not looking to fight. He needs money or something. His head's not right. And then he got smoked by a boost. Not because a boost did anything, but because Michel Pereira did jack shit in that fight. I mean, he didn't do a damn thing. My fault. Whatever. We move on. Now he's facing Kyle Daukas, who, like I said, 2-4 in the UFC, but went to CFFC, picked up some grappling wins, and was 4-0 separately from grappling. 4-0 since returning from the UFC. 3 finishes and 1 decision. Became champ there, and he's looking to make a bounce back here. Listen, man, decent amount of fights. It's tough. His wins look pretty good at CFFC, I'm not going to lie. Michel Pereira is kind of a different monster, though. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are going to be on Daukas because how bad Michel Pereira looked in his last fight. But before that fight, he looked good. Or before that and fluffy, I should say. So he's kind of on a skid. But I think someone gets finished here. I think I also do lean the under here. I think someone gets finished. That's probably the way I would go in this fight. I wouldn't trust either of them. I don't think Kyle Daukas, I wouldn't say he's not UFC level, but Michel Pereira should be better than him. So the fact that I'm not even trying to lean towards Michel Pereira, should explain to you why I don't like this fight. Michel Pereira right now minus 280, kind of disgusting. I do think that he finds a way to finish Daukas, but someone probably goes down, which is why I say I lean the under. But in terms of a prediction, I do lean Michel Pereira. I think he has better hands, stronger hands. Cardio's not there, but doesn't need cardio to finish a fight much. So give me Michel Pereira to win by TKO or submission. Next fight, Rong Zhu versus Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard is going to be an inch taller, same reach, and Austin Hubbard also has the 1 inch leg reach advantage. I like Rong Zhu. I think Rong Zhu is a savage. 2-3 in the UFC. Won his last fight, beat Cody Steele. Cody Steele was the favorite and also undefeated. Lost to Chris Padilla. Before that was a doctor stoppage. Chris Padilla has some hands to him though. And this is another case where, he was in the UFC for a while, lost, went back, came back from to road to UFC, and since then he's 1-1. Not bad. Austin Hubbard, kind of similar, came back from the Ultimate Fighter. Since then he is 1-3 in the UFC. That is not great. He's not losing to the best competition. Lost to Medeiros by split. Lost to Hernandez by split. Arguably could have won either of those two, to be honest, especially the Hernandez one, I believe. But kind of sucks for him that he's given Rong Zhu. I think Rong Zhu's kind of an animal too, to be honest. And I think Austin Hubbard's going to be trying to wrestle him as much as possible. I just don't know if he's going to be able to in this position, to be honest. I'm not loving it for Austin Hubbard, not going to lie. Rong Zhu right now, minus 265. Not bad. People are, line opened at 350, minus 350. People are betting on Austin Hubbard. Fairs, I get it. Or Zhu Rong, sorry. Regardless, I do think Rong Zhu is going to be able to piece him up at some point, whether it goes 3 and it's close 1-1. I think at some point Austin Hubbard's not going to be able to get those takedowns, and I think Rong Zhu is going to be able to piece him up. So give me Zhu Rong to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Energy Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanagh. Energy is going to be 3 inches taller, 3-inch reach advantage, 3.5-inch leg reach advantage. Energy is coming off of a loss to Temirov by decision, but before that was on a 4-fight win streak, including a TKO win to the number 1 contender of the flyweight division, Josh Ravan. A lot of people are going to say that, but of course, look at his other wins. I mean, Mudaerji, I think he's kind of mid. Jake Hadley sucks. Maxim, pretty good win, not going to lie. Obviously lost to Oz Ode, lost to Durden, Estevam. I mean, he's been having back and forth success. And then we have Loner Kavanagh. Stud. 9-0, stud. 2-0 in the UFC. Beat Jose Ochoa by unanimous decision. Close fight. He won 2-1. Edged it out just at the end, I would believe. And then Felipe dos Santos beat him by decision. Two super quick, long, lanky guys with more power than Charles Johnson. I think this is almost, I wouldn't say this is a step down from Felipe dos Santos, but I'll be honest with you. The way I see this is, I know this is not how matchmaking works, but if you put Energy versus Jose Ochoa right now, who do you think wins? Because I think it's Jose Ochoa. And I love Energy. I think he's an absolute dog. I always wish him success. I just hate that he has to face Loner Kavanagh, to be honest. But he's solid. I mean, he's super solid. Kavanagh can mix it up very well. He's kind of able to do everything. That's the one thing, though. He's not great at anything, I would say, yet. But he mixes everything up so well. I think it can create problems for someone like Charles Johnson, who, if he's facing a wrestler, he kind of knows what he has to do. This is an interesting puzzle to piece up. So, Loner Kavanagh, minus 215. Yeah, you could have given me minus 400. I probably would have still said Kavanagh, to be honest, easily. I think he wins this. I think he pieces him up. I think 2 judges will give him 30-27, and we'll sneak in a 29-28 there. But give me Loner Kavanagh to win by decision. Next fights, Maheshate versus Gage Young. Now, not loving this fight too much. Both are coming off of losses. Maheshate, way taller. 1.5-inch reach advantage. 3.5-inch leg reach advantage. Like I said, both of them are coming off of losses. Maheshate 10-4. 2-3 in the UFC. Lost to Nicolas Mota in his last fight. Beat Benitez by split before that. And then lost to Borjas. I mean, he's losing to people that have a lot of power on the feet. And then we have Gage Young, who lost his debut to Evan Elder. And, lost his Contender Series fight as well to Xiao. Long, lanky guy, able to mix it up very well. Obviously, Maheshate is going to be looking to just keep it on the feet because he's probably has I would say he has the advantage there. He's not average. He's not trying to take you down. 45% takedown accuracy. So you might see Gage Young maybe try to get a takedown, but it's not really in his game either. Xiao landed 9 takedowns against him with only almost 5 minutes of control, pretty much. So it can be a stand-up. And listen, the longer rangier fighter, the one that has probably, I would say, more power, can mix it up better on the feet, is Maheshate. Maheshate right now is plus 110. Yeah, I'm going to lean Maheshate. I think he's going to be able to do enough to win this fight, to be honest. Give me a dog shot here, Maheshate to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Taiyilake Nueraji versus Kiefer Crosbie. Nueraji is 6'2", 75-inch reach, so he's going to be 3 inches taller and a 5-inch reach advantage against Kiefer Crosbie. Kiefer Crosbie is 0-2 in the UFC so far. Lost to Kevin Jose, he subbed him. Then lost to Sam Patterson, also got subbed. Now, Nueraji, I don't think he's going to be looking to sub you much. I think he's going to be looking to take your damn head off. He's 11-1, 10 wins by TKO. A lot of first-round finishes, but he has gotten finishes in the third round as well. Kiefer Crosbie, I think, is going to need to find a way to finish this fight early. If not, or hurt him to get some respect. If not, he's going to get smoked. Nueraji is minus 430 right now. I think he finishes him. Nueraji has never seen a judge's scorecard ever in his professional career. I don't think that starts on Saturday. So give me Nueraji to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Mudaerji versus Kevin Borjas. Both are coming off of wins. Mudaerji's 3 inches taller, 4-inch reach advantage, 2.5-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Mudaerji is coming off of a win against Mitch Raposo, but did lose 3 straight fights prior to that. Charles Johnson, Tim Elliott, Matt Schnell. Tim Elliott, Charles Johnson, not bad losses. Matt Schnell is a bad loss. Then we have Kevin Borjas, who is now 1-2 in the UFC. Lost first one to Josh Ravan, then Acosta, and then he beat Lazy Boy, where he was an underdog, and we picked him to win. Easy money. Had a knockdown and everything. He looked so good in that fight. Still shocked he was a dog. I remember seeing it, and I was like, there's no way he's a dog. Now, he's kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage in terms of height and reach here. Obviously going to be a stand-up fight. Borjas, I think, is so technical. He's super tough. Mudaerji as well, but maybe I'm biased. I kind of like Borjas a little more. I think he's able to mix it up a little bit better. I think he has cleaner hands. I think he's willing to step in the fire a little bit more. And Kevin Borjas is plus 152 right now. This time to take another dog. This is one of those where I'm just like, I'm going to ride with Kevin Borjas because I have no reason not to. I think he's going to be able to do a lot on the feet. At worst, I think he wins around plus 3.5 spread. Should be absolute money. Give me Kevin Borjas to win by TKO or decision. Next up, Sergei Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Now, Salsa Boy's an inch taller. There's no way that reach is correct over there. Sergei Pavlovich has the 84-inch reach, and Salsa Boy has the 78-inch reach. It's not 70, UFC.com. You're tweaking. If Sergei had a 14-inch reach, he'd look like Wemby. He has a 6-inch reach advantage, 1.5-inch leg reach advantage. UFC, whoever does your website needs to be fired, and you need to hire me. Sergei are both coming off of wins. Sergei, in his last one, beat Jairzinho, was able to take him down, just control him. Wanted no business on the feet with Rosenstrike, and he was absolutely smart for doing that because he was on a 2-fight skid. And then we have Salsa Boy on a 5-fight win streak. Beat Sergei Spivak in his last one. Everyone thinks it was controversial. It was close. It was no robbery. Robberies is Jared Gordon, Patty Pimblett. That's a robbery. And I'm saying this because I had Waldo Cortes-Acosta as a dog, and he cashed for us. So of course I'm going to say that. But still, in all honesty, like, it was a close fight. If they had given it to Spivak, okay, I understand that too. If anything, arguably probably won, but it's no robbery. You guys need to understand what that word means. For the love of Christ. Anyways, 5-0. Hands were looking pretty damn good, but he was getting taken down and controlled. Now, Spivak wasn't able to probably do that as much as he would have liked to, but he still was able to land some takedowns, and that's going to be the game plan again for Spivak. Spivak, the bigger fighter, he's going to be looking like a monster in there. Going to use his hands to set up takedowns or control Salsa Boy in there. I think if he lands those takedowns, his control is going to be better than Spivak. I think his just outright control. I think Spivak kind of looking for subs a little bit more. Sergei's like, I'm going to hold you there. I don't care. I'm going to hold you there, and I'm going to win this damn fight. Sergei Spivak right now, minus 225. Not terrible. Not in love with it, but not terrible. I think Spivak wins this. Pavlovich. I think Pavlovich wins this. Have I been saying? They have the same name. I fucked up. Anyways, I think Pavlovich wins this pretty decisively. Give me Sergei Pavlovich to win by decision. Next fight, Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. Very confusing fight here. Both are coming off of losses. Brian Ortega lost his last one to Diego Lopez. Got absolutely cooked. Aljamain Sterling lost his last one to Evloev. Very close fight. Brian Ortega an inch taller, but Sterling has the 2-inch reach advantage, same leg reach advantage. Going to be interesting to see how this works on the feet, really. Brian Ortega is very inactive, so I don't even want to go through too many stats, to be honest. Aljo's looking pretty good at featherweight right now. 1-1, beat Cater, and then lost to Evloev. Super close fight. I think where they are at in their careers, not even going to try to sugarcoat it, Aljo should absolutely dominate Brian Ortega. Now, it's a 5-round fight, which is scary because we saw Aljo kind of get tired against Evloev after that second, someone in the third, and it kind of caused him to lose that fight. But Brian Ortega doesn't have that same pressure and that same power, and the grappling exchanges will not be as tiring as it was with Evloev, because Evloev is more of a dominant wrestler than Brian Ortega, obviously. So I think Aljo's going to be able to pull this off, probably in a 3-rounder, probably beat him by decision. Aljo right now, minus 265, decent. Probably wouldn't play it as a dog, kind of afraid, would probably rather just take him to win by points is plus 105. Probably the best way to go. Give me Aljamain Sterling to win by decision. And last but not least, the main event is Johnnie Walker versus Zhang Mingyang. Johnnie Walker 4 inches taller, 7.5, 6.5 reach advantage, 2.5-inch leg reach advantage. He's always been super long, lanky. Obviously, everyone's going to tell you the same thing. Mingyang Zhang is going to knock him out clean. That's what everyone's going to be saying. He's 4-0 in the UFC, or 3-0 in the UFC. 3 first-round finishes, beat Anthony Smith in his last one. And then we have Johnnie Walker, who's lost his last 2. Lost to the champ and then Ozdemir in his last one. Don't really know where he's at in his career, to be honest. Kind of could see this also being Mingyang Zhang early. And then if anything, maybe Johnnie Walker might be able to pick up a sub somewhere. I think one of the best ways to go about this is the under. This definitely does not go all 5. Someone's going to get finished unless they both are dead tired, which I doubt happens. But listen, they're kind of trying to push Zhang up to be this next prospect, next big thing. Johnnie Walker's kind of a stepping stone. I wouldn't doubt him winning this. He's a dog, but I wouldn't put my coins on Johnnie Walker. So give me Mingyang Zhang to win by knockout or TKO. And that concludes UFC Shanghai, Johnnie Walker versus Mingyang Zhang. I want to thank all of you. I know this is a bit of a short video, but listen, I gave you guys some dogs as well. There's going to be some banger cards after this one. We have a week break, but going to be doing a lot more NFL content very soon, kind of working around that so that I can be providing that for all of you on this channel very, very soon. So look out for that as well. It's going to be a different format from this video. Going to be a little bit cooler, I would think, for the NFL. But of course, I appreciate you all. Please join the Discord. You get a free week, which means that you get this card for absolute free. And not just that, I don't just do that. We've been crushing baseball since the last card, UFC 319, and obviously all season as well. And once football season starts, I mean, what I think is my best sport to cap. Honestly, sometimes even more than the UFC. I think I do better in the NFL for a lot of those weeks. So please join the Discord. It's the best way to support me as well. And of course, sub here. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers here, I will be doing another giveaway. I love doing those giveaways for you guys. So please support me there as well. But as always, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, and blessed weekend. Let's keep cashing.